Welcome, collectors. Thank you so much for joining me for this brand new edition of Diecast Emporium. As you can see, today we're going to be reviewing the Athearn John Deere 9620 tractor in 1:50 scale. Now, typically I do not collect farming equipment in any scale, but I picked this up at a local hobby and train shop for a heavily discounted price. And I've been seeing a lot of these over the past couple years here in my neck of the woods in southwest Ohio. Not necessarily for farming applications, but I've seen this type of tractor more often than not pulling these, which are pull-behind scrapers. This one in particular is the Miskin D19, made a number of years ago by First Gear. So stay tuned to the end of this video because basically the whole reason for picking up this model was to see if it would link up nicely with this pull-behind scraper. So make sure you watch all the way towards the end, and we'll see if we can get a satisfactory pairing between the two. Okay, back to this model. I do like this style of packaging, and I've said it for years and years and years, mainly opposed to the card type of packaging that you may have seen some other Athearn or Athearn, technically either is correct, John Deere 150 scale models that come on cards, which again are very similar to like Hot Wheels and Matchbox style cards, where once you rip them open, you're done. There is no long-term value or security for your model if you want to perhaps put it back in the box or card in that case for safekeeping or for transport if you're moving it around. So it also allows you, while you're looking at it on the vendor shelf, to take a quick look and make sure there's no broken or missing pieces. Again, equally as important with this clear window style of packaging. John Deere 9620, John Deere logo, Athearn diecast up top. Here you can see what I paid for it. Again, heavily discounted from what these typically went for, even as recently as a couple years ago. Back of the box reads, John Deere. Athearn's extensive line of John Deere 150th scale diecast tractors and vehicles provide a new standard of excellence. Each John Deere 150th scale replica is manufactured to the highest standards, using the finest materials to produce collectibles that are unmatched in craftsmanship and detail. Enjoy! All right, the last bit of packaging that we shall take a look at, just some more housekeeping issues. You have the John Deere licensed product logo at the top left portion of your screen, 150th scale, your barcode down here, item number 7760, and again, a message that this is an adult collectible scale model not suitable for children. All right, let's unbox this together. To be honest with you, I have not yet had this out of the box, so I don't know if there are any pesky twist ties that we must navigate our way through. So let's take a look. Doesn't appear as though there are. However, as you can see, there are a bit of tape there. So you take the top portion of the plastic cover off, and yay, look at that. You simply lift down, pick your model up, and there are no twist ties or anything that you have to navigate your way through. Okay, with the tractor out of the box, that allows us to dive straight into the model review. The green portions on the tractor, with the exception of this green portion of the top part of the cab, all of that is die-cast, which gives this model some pretty hefty weight to it. The wheels are, in my opinion, a bit shiny, so they don't look particularly realistic, but they do have a very decent tread pattern on them. Going back to the green aspect for just a minute, even this access stair portion here, that is all part of the metal casting. I'm assuming this is some sort of fuel tank, this black portion. If you look closely, you can see a little bit of the engine and motor, but it's hiding behind the dual wheels. 9620 John Deere up here for your graphics, which are very crisp and look quite clear. Inside the cab, you have the beige or brown interior, a black steering wheel, so a little bit of effort has gone into replicating the interior. The first functioning aspect of this model, which I like quite a lot, are the folding out access rear view mirrors, so you can fold them in tightly for transport if you have this on a lowboy, or extend them out for when the tractor is working. And if you look close enough, you can see that they have a sticker with a simulated reflective surface on it, again, to give the illusion that it's actually a mirror with some glass. The rear of the tractor, again, here's a good look at the dual wheels, some more lights. You have your warning triangle, again, nice graphic there. Coming along to this side, it is slightly different than the left-hand side of the machine. Over here on the right-hand side, you have your exhaust and your large air cleaner. The front of the tractor, your grill with the Deere logo, some more lights. I assume this yellow portion is supposed to be a rotating beacon light, but to be honest, it doesn't look that great in yellow. It looks very unrealistic. Okay, continuing on with the review with functionality. This tractor steers by articulation, and you can achieve a respectable range of articulation, but I would stop short to say, as to say that it is vast, because it certainly is not, but it is acceptable, as you can see here, and it will hold that pose when turning. Underneath, nothing. There's no transmission modeled or any of the mechanical components. You can see, the axle on the front portion, but that again is molded into part of the casting. A bit disappointing there. I would have thought there would have been a little bit more detail. At the back, you can see 3 pre-drilled holes for hooking up farming implements, and in this case, hopefully one of those 3 will be large enough to hold the pull-behind scraper. Before we get to the scraper, this tractor does feature one additional bit of functionality that may not be readily viewable, if you will, and that is you can take the wheels off. So if you wanted to narrow this for transportation, you can take the 4 front wheels off and put them down or put them on the lowboy, and then when you are ready, you can simply pop them back on. Now, the only thing you want to be aware of, particularly if you are a rivet counter collector, and there are many of those, you want to make sure that the tread pattern is going the same way on each of the wheels. Okay, that's the review of the Athearn John Deere 9620 tractor. Let's take a brief break. When we come back, we'll pull out the pull-behind scraper and see how that looks. All right, welcome back, everyone. Obviously, you can see in the frame now we have the Miskin scraper. We can back our tractor up to it. Now, the scraper itself, by First Gear, does come with a couple of these toe-behind pins, but unfortunately, they are too large to fit in the hole here. So what I've done is effectively made a very rudimentary solution and cut a small piece of steel wire, and we're going to see if that lines up perfectly with one of these holes and if the two stay conjoined together. So with a little bit of luck, perhaps a little bit of patience, we can get a satisfactory pose. As you can see, they are linked together. Again, not particularly realistic because there's nowhere on the tractor to plug in your lines here. Now, obviously, you could glue them if you wanted to. You can glue these on the back of the tractor, but then you're kind of stuck in this grouping or this pairing for the remainder of this model's lifetime, which, of course, I never suggest gluing anything. But what I wanted to point out here and what I wanted to demonstrate, and I'm really glad to see that we could come up with a solution for this, is you can hook up the D19 pull-behind scraper with this model. It does make a very realistic pairing. It looks really good. As you can see, I am moving the tractor, applying a fair amount of force in both directions and steering it, and the two stay connected, which is very crucial and obviously important. So that will conclude this video. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and comment on it as well. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as I try to upload new videos weekly. Until next time, take care and be safe, everyone. I'll see you in the next Diecast Emporium review.